My name is Bob Jarnigan, the Jefferson County historian, and today's chat is presented to you by the Jefferson County Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to one of the premier house museums in the area, the Glenmore Mansion located in Jefferson City, Tennessee. Glenmore is considered one of the state's most nearly perfect examples of Second Empire style.
So when you walk through Glenmore, you're really walking into history, just as it was made.
A quote from architectural historian James Patrick in his book, Architecture in Tennessee, perhaps the grandest Second Empire country house remaining in Tennessee.
So whether it's history you're looking for, it's outdoor recreation that you're looking for, we have all of that here in Jefferson County.
There is no other building in Jefferson County which gives me the feeling I get whenever I come up the driveway and first glimpse this magnificent house. And when I enter the front door, step into the foyer, I know that I'm in a special place. Today, as I stand on the winding main staircase, look at the beautifully carved newel post, and glide my hand across the smooth wooden handrail, I dare to wonder about those whose hands have traveled across this railing before me.
So I think it is important to go back and look at history. We can learn sometimes from history. If we don't learn anything new, we learn what not to do in the future, perhaps. If you look back at the history of this place, the original land was bought by George Branner, who was the father of John Branner. He constructed a grist mill down on Mossy Creek, and he also got some land grants and built his little farm here, along with his business enterprises. In 1882, Milton Jarnigan purchased the Branner estate, which included the mansion house, a farm of some 1,200 acres, the grist mill, and the water rights along with the grist mill. Frank Jarnigan farmed about 500 acres while he lived here. He ran the grist mill. He was involved in the Mossy Creek Bank, which his father had founded, and he stayed there until 1929 as a banker. That's when the bank failed, along with about half the banks in the country, I think. The Jarnigan family occupied Glenmore for a total of 83 years. That's both generations. From 1965 until about 1969, the mansion was empty for the most part. There were 12 remaining Jarnigan heirs, and they decided to give the property to the APTA, Association for the Preservation of Tennessee Antiquities. Glenmore chapter has been the caretaker and operated the Glenmore Mansion House Museum since 1972. After receiving Glenmore Mansion from the Jarnigans, the APTA and the local chapter worked hard for 2 years and got it into good shape and furnished it as a Victorian style. Glenmore as a structure has just under 8,000 square feet total space. It basically has 2 floors in the mansion, has a 3rd floor that's an attic that was never finished, and it's just a storage space, and that's the way it's been since it was built. It has a section on the back, it's called Dolltown, that's smaller. Ceilings in that part are only 9 feet high, whereas in the mansion itself, the ceilings are 15 feet. Of course, the early folks heated by coal. In this house, they used coal fireplaces, and it would have been very difficult to heat this big house. Even today, with central heating and air on the 1st floor, in a very cold winter time, it's hard to heat this house. When Frank lived here, the room that we now call the parlor, all the great-grandchildren come and they say, well, when we came, this was a guest room. The house has undergone those kinds of changes, but again, as I said earlier, it's never undergone any physical transformation. The rooms are the same, doors are the same, windows are the same. It's the house that was built by John Branner in 1868. June of '72, it opened as a house museum. The mansion has been open to the public on weekends for tours every year from May to October. This coming June of 2022 will mark 50 years that the mansion has served as a public landmark in Jefferson City. I think when folks visit an old place like Glenmore, you know, you're actually capturing a piece of history. The docents can tell you about the people who lived here and how they lived. and the role that the land itself played in this community. We have a very interesting piece of history here at Glenmore Mansion, and we would invite anybody who would like to do a walkthrough tour to come visit us on weekends, May the 1st through the end of October. We're here on Saturday and Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4. Walking tours take about an hour. Unless it's not busy and the docent has a lot of words to share, you can stretch it to an hour and a half. And we do have people that rent it from time to time for a wedding, or perhaps throw in a big reception or a party of some kind, or a special event. It is a wonderful place to feel like you're immersed in a little bit of history when you come here for a special event.
We treat you like your family. So you're driving down the road and you're waving at somebody, or you go through your neighborhood and you know, it's a hey, how you doing? Or you go to a local restaurant, somewhere that's been here forever, Tinsley Bible, or Owen's Restaurant, or Lisa's Country Kitchen. No matter where you go in the community, you know, you're not going to pass somebody and they don't look up at you and smile and ask you, hey, how's your day going? And that may seem like a strange question in some areas of our country, but here, that's just normal.
From myself, friends of the Jefferson County Chamber of Commerce, and the entire Project Let's Chat team, we thank you for your time today and hope to see you at our next landmark. I invite each of you to visit Jefferson County and to stop by the Glenmore for a tour where you will become a part of the legacy and the magic of the Glenmore Mansion.